So, the dating market here in Brazil has a serious problem, and I wanted to discuss about that in this video. So if you are interested about Brazil, whatever, if you want to live here, I think the topics I will discuss here will help you to understand a little bit more from a native perspective the environment we have here in Brazil. Just to remember and what I base my analysis here, okay? First of all, data statistics, okay? I've researched a lot of statistics, and the other side here is my experience from 37 years living here, and I've been watching this changing gradually with the pass of the years, okay? So I myself saw this, and let's talk about this, okay? Not only I saw, but I follow up with discussion in social media, okay? And when you see what is resonating in social media, what is going viral, what people are saying here in social media, you can kind of understand what the masses think, okay? What's the overview thinking about relationships. And yes, there is a big problem, okay? Let's talk about this from now on. Okay, first of all, let's understand here. I think it's not only here in Brazil, obviously, but in all over the world, okay? Men and women follow a different, let me say, criteria in terms of selection, okay? When they are gonna select a partner for have a relationship, okay? Basically, men and women have like two focus, okay? They want partners to have not everybody's like that, but there is a lot of people that are like that. They look for casual relation and for long-term relationship. The list for men is not so long. For women the list is a lot longer, okay? But from a general, for an overview perspective, the main criteria for selection are two, okay? And these have an equilibrium. The natural beauty, the beauty of the woman, okay, comes here, and the, let me say, the personal aspects come here too, okay? If a man wants only a casual relationship, he will put the beauty here, the personal aspects of the woman here, okay? And if he wants a long-term relationship, he wants the beauty thing here as a criteria, but it goes down a little bit, and this thing here that is the personal attributes come here, and it grows a lot, okay? For the women, as long as I follow up with the discussion in social media and I try to understand a little bit more deeply what women really want, the list goes like this, very, very big, okay? So we know that it's not only Brazil, but women has really longer and longer lists. But generally, women are hypergamic. I'm not saying that women are wrong by being hypergamic, okay? It's only a selection criteria. Let me say like this, okay? Men have their criteria, women have their criteria, okay? And the women base a lot in the hypergamic way of thinking, okay? When it comes to relationships, okay? Obviously they take in account the man beauty here, but other factors go like this, okay? And one of the most important factors for women is financial stability to get long-term relationship, okay? Financial success, okay? And this is obvious. Nature did like this because a family needs, okay, in a way or another, financial stability to have a healthy environment for the kids, okay? That's obvious. A children that grows up in a place that doesn't have a good financial stability is not very healthy for, let me say, the subconscious of the children, okay? So nature is very wise and do women like this, okay? So they put financial stability like here, and the beauty and other things like here, okay, to have long-term relationships, okay. And that's the problem. Raising a children here in Brazil is not something cheap, okay. Why? Because you have to pay for private education, okay. In rich countries you doesn't have this cost because you have free education. Okay, it's not the better, but it's good enough. When you compare here to Brazil, it's much better. Health costs, okay. Here in Brazil, you have the public SUS, we call here SUS, but it's very difficult to a place that it really works, okay. Generally, in big capitals, the public system is very, very bad, okay. Typically, okay, typically. Okay, with few exceptions. And where are the cities you have a good health insurance, let me say free health? In the countryside, but in the countryside generally you doesn't have jobs, so you doesn't have income. So many times you cannot live in the countryside, okay? So the money here is in the big capitals, and big capitals are very expensive, okay, for men and for women and for everybody, because you have to pay college, it's very expensive for us. You have to pay private health system. You have a lot of costs here in Brazil. And what happened? The latest research here in 2024 showed that the average income for the men here in Brazil is 3,424 reais. The average income, it's $600 per month, okay? And for women, it's 2,696 reais. That is about $400, $500, something like this, okay? Which is very, very, very low when you take in account the cost to really raise a family and have the conditions to do that. So what we observe here in Brazil is that women, many times they want to raise a family here, but the conditions simply doesn't allow. When they look for the man, the average income, this income is really, really low. To like pay for all these costs, private education, private health, okay, everything, you need to raise a family. And this problem is going worse and worse year after year, okay? This only got worse. And year after year, the Brazilians the average income is growing, but the inflation is like making everybody more poor with the pass of the year. Pass year by year, and inflation is getting all the Brazilian society more and more poor. And the birth rates here in Brazil start to decline in 1970. In 1970, the average sons per woman were 5.8 sons per woman. In 2020, this goes down to 1.65 per woman, which is really low. It goes even lower, and it goes lower and lower and lower and lower, as long as the society in general is getting more and more poor. Additionally to this, the state here is something very curious. They create a lot of laws that prejudice men in a lot of ways that I'm not described deeply here, but we have a lot of laws that really punish men. I don't know, I'm not sure why the state here do this, but they do this, okay? And the result here is even lower births and even lower number of relationships as long as the time passes. Okay, and the birth rate in a country when it goes down is very, very bad for the economy, because it impacts in the retirement, okay, because the old people needs the young people's money to survive to their retirement, okay, and when it goes down and you doesn't have good immigration to compensate that, the result is what we've been seeing in the last years. Okay, and in rich countries it's not a problem, the birth rate going down like USA, because everybody wants to go to the USA. In the Canada, all the world wants to go to the Canada. Europe, everybody wants to go to Europe. So they can just select the best immigrants like this. I know there is a lot of illegal immigration. I know this is a problem in these rich countries, okay? But many times they can put a barrier like this high, and they take the best minds in the world, like people that are honest and go there not illegally, they go legally, they pay a lot of money and they inject in these economies. So these economies, like, they stay stable, let me say like this, and the Brazilian economy doesn't attract a lot of investment here, okay, by the reasons I mentioned here in the channel. So there is not a qualified, let me say, additional people coming here to fill up these blanks, okay, and the results are not good for the future because of this, are really very serious. For you that is a foreign that come here with a strong currency is not a problem, because your currency will buy even more and more things here in Brazil. As Brazil is getting bad, the currency is being depreciated, the productivity here is going lower and lower, okay? You can do a lot of things, but it's something that happens here a lot. This is a big problem for the next years Brazil, and this video is to make an update for you, okay? Really to inform you that doesn't have like an inside view from here and want to understand more about our country, okay? Put your questions here, what do you think about it, and let's discuss here a little bit. Thank you, see you in the next video.